got to play.
This one is tricky for us to say because
please forgive
we
us.
were calling it Dabba Walla, but apparently, according to a friend of ours, that's completely wrong. It's he said something more like Dabba, and it's probably wrong too. But it's Dabba, Mumbai. Food Express.
So we're just going to call this Mumbai Food Express because we know how to pronounce those.
And we're so sorry for
we really are.
Usually that's Rob's job.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is actually.
Before we get started, what are you going to do?
You're going to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Yeah, I'm getting there.
Come on,
And it's good to have everybody back at the table. It's been
it's been a hot minute.
It's not been a long time. It's been like a month.
I don't remember what you
No, I'm talking about because I'm normally not in the videos.
For all three of us, that's true. It's been forever since all three of us.
Because normally
I'm napping.
I played the game and then I go nap because that's my thing. So it is kind of nice. All right. Rob, though, has some more information about this game.
I do.
You do. It's true.
So, came out in 2024 because I'm not going to try and butcher the name. So, BGG rating 7.2 with a rank of 12,851. It's 2 to 4 players, plays 30 to 45 minutes, which I don't know, felt a little bit longer than that. And then age 8 and up. Designed is by Felix Leader with Patricia Limburger. Art by Patricia Limburger. Published by Queen Games. Now, MSRP is $39.99. Boardlandia's got a little bit cheaper at $35.99. Noble Knight is just 5 cents cheaper at $39.95. So lots of cool elements to the game. We've got some polyomino action going on, some card hand management stuff. So pretty
multi-use cards in the very loose sense.
Yeah, very loose.
So we got this at Origins because it was buy this game, get another game free. So Randy thought, sure, 2 games.
Well, I like polyomino games too.
No, that is true. That is true. That I do like.
And Randy doesn't pass a deal.
No, he doesn't. Not really. That's why we now have Frosthaven.
Right. I like that game. I've already had it.
So all right.
To be fair, you called me. I was sleeping. And
you
said, you want Frosthaven.
Okay, to be fair, it's a $250 game, and it was brand new, unpunched at a yard sale for $100. So
okay, and when you asked Randy, you want a game, Randy? Yes.
Well, first I had to make sure we didn't already have it.
Yes, because if nothing else, you can give it to me. So.
But you already have it.
No, I thought you were saying Frostpunk. I don't have Frosthaven. So
oh, okay.
I have Gloomhaven.
We did end up picking this up at Origins, and so we got it to the table.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk about quality components. You do have these storage trays.
Yeah, I mean, it was an art project, but this one actually I'm not too disappointed in because it's really nice. I mean, the trays are a little loose, but they work really well when you slide the board is 3 pieces, and 2 of them become the tops of the big trays, and then they have little tops, so they seal off nicely and store your pieces. I thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah. So that was pretty interesting. However, like your player boards, they're cardboard. Like it's a lot of cardboard. There's no linen finish on these cards.
Yeah, they're slick.
They're okay thickness. I would not be surprised if you ended up sleeving them because I feel like they would wear pretty quickly.
Especially if you play it a lot.
Yeah, and if you're not playing it a lot, maybe not. So overall and you got your player boards. Again, cardboard. You do get 4 different player board options for your card. I'm probably going to give this a 6.5. There's nothing amazing. Well, these are pretty cool, but that's about it.
Yeah, 6.5 is about where I'm at. I mean, if it weren't for these trays, and these do have a little slight linen finish on the cardboard. So yeah, I think 6.5 because of the trays and the fact that it's pretty thoughtfully designed.
So 6.5, I agree.
Okay, all right. So moving on to the actual theme. So Randy was telling us a little bit about the history that was mentioned in the book, and it's basically how that there are people at home that cook all these meals. They get picked up by these delivery people and then redistributed and sent back out to all these people, and they do this every day.
Yeah. Without technology.
Without any type,
So they all meet in a central location, and based upon where the route they're taking, they basically just redistribute each other's cooking
We just don't know how the orders are delivered, so we don't know if that's like a psychic thing that just like give me fried chicken. And
well,
then
they're
they
doing
know that.
I mean, that's the thing. The delivery services and such are doing studies on these people doing this because they're effective, but there's no technology.
Well, there is psychic abilities going on. I want to know about it because that's cool.
So I thought that was a really interesting concept. I think that was a fun little theme for them to do. The art and stuff.
The art's actually not bad.
It's not bad.
It's good on the board. The cards look good. I mean, it's
yeah, no, it's good. I don't know if it's quite as eye-catching as it could be with this theme, but I think they did fine.
It's colorful.
I think it's fine.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think especially for, I mean, a small. It's not a. I mean, it's a big box, but it's not really a big box game. There's not a lot to it.
Yeah, you could fit this on a smaller table if you
for
wanted
sure.
to.
I think it's actually pretty cool.
Okay, so what would you score it on?
I think I'd do a 7.
Okay, for me, I'll actually agree. Not because of the art, but I do think that the mechanics are intrinsic to what they're trying to convey. Trying to fit stuff on your card.
Mechanics fit the theme.
Yeah, the mechanics really do fit the theme very well. So I kind of enjoyed that aspect of it. So yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, Eagle is always using just vibrant red, blue, green, yellows, which I don't really care for a lot. In this case, they actually applied shapes to them as well because presumably for color blindness issues, which, again, they're just generic shapes: circle, square, triangle, hexagon.
But they work.
But it works. Yeah, I mean, it's not anything impressive to it, but it works.
Right.
I mean, it conveys what it needs to very simplistically. So yeah, I think probably I'll give it a 7. I don't think it's
that's a real arm twist in there. So
yeah. All right. So moving on to the actual rule book, you taught us pretty quickly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a simple game. It's a 12-page rule book. Part of that again is the history or the idea behind the story of the whatever mispronunciations we can get into. It does have a scanny thing, QR code.
Called a QR code.
I know. For if you want to learn, actually, this is for recipes. If you were in the mood for Indian food after playing,
that I would be interested in, but not Randy. Because
I would.
I'm not saying you wouldn't, but Randy doesn't like anything other than steak.
It's American. It's
chicken.
American, unspicy Mexican, and
Italian.
Italian is what
Italian would be number 1.
Right. That's true.
Queen Games is known for putting in like these little modules that they add to their games, which I think is nice touch. This one, they were fairly basic though.
That's the thing. Honestly, that kind of annoys me sometimes.
It does?
Yeah, the little mini modules. It's not so bad if they do it either up front, but every so often they come out with mini module for a game, and it's hard to stay caught up on those things.
Yeah.
Because they come out. I'm never notified, so I don't know it, so I miss out, and they don't do large print runs of them, so sometimes I miss out and never get them, and it makes me mad.
Well, when they include them in the base game,
that's fine.
I think I'm all right with that.
All right, so that was they are included, so that's nice.
That is cool.
The setup is super easy once you get the art project out of the way of building the little things to store them. As far as the gameplay, it's got a lot of examples on what to do. Like, it tells you cannot protrude from beyond the grid when you place your tiles, and they've got people putting them in diagonally and such. I don't understand why you would ever play a game and assume that, but you might, it's okay just for you to just throw it on there.
Now,
Have you seen some of these bike riders? They are clearly like 3 feet off of each side of the bike, so you're like, its sense of balance is amazing. Things.
So, I think the rulebook is effective. It's easy to learn this game. I'm probably going to go ahead and give it an 8. The only grievance I really have is the fact that they don't. This is not the first time I've seen this with a Queen game where you get the book bent because they don't bother to check when they're putting the lid on where the rulebook is, and it gets caught between the board boxes. I've got several of them like this.
Oh, and that does make him really sad, guys.
Yes, I like my books to be pristine.
I know. Heaven forbid you fold it.
Yeah, don't do that.
I may have.
Or if it's a tri-fold rule book.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Or a trifold where you put stickers in.
Alright, so moving on to the actual gameplay. So you start out the game with 2 cards in your hand, and there's 6 cards on the board. We have the wrong board facing. So we're going to do a quick flip over. Editing magic. Now we have it where we can actually play. Alright. Alright, so you have 2 cards in your hand. Obviously, they are for you to see and no one else. All right, so I'm going to see what I have in my hand. But then I'm going to place my worker. So this is the board that I'm going to be trying to be filling. But remember, you get to stack it up quite significantly. So I'm going to be looking for things that make sense with this. So I'm going to end up placing my worker in one location. Whatever am I going to do? I'm going to take this corner piece. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Now, I can choose to just put this in my hand or immediately play it. I'm going to immediately play this one. So I'm going to take the appropriate shape. And then I am going to be putting it inside here and laying it a certain way.
Making sure it's not hanging over and not diagonal.
Whoop.
And if
throw on the floor.
You can go up layers. You can later on go down to the bottom, but you have to have a foundation underneath when you play, so there can't be overhang.
Yeah. Okay. So now that is down, then Randy would take his turn and place his worker.
And you do replace the card.
Yeah, and you're playing irrespective of where other players are. So I could go to the same location as Miranda. It doesn't matter. You also want to keep in mind there's 2 sides to the card. One is the shape. The other one is how much impact you can have on the market when you sell
the next phase, yeah.
So I'm going to take this one because it gives me the best of both worlds, in my opinion. I get 2 influence, but unfortunately it's on a different color, and I get a 2 blue tile. There's also, in this case, this is one of the modules where we're adding an in-game bonus, so you want to keep that in mind when you're playing, scoring towards those. And so this one is having different colors, so getting smaller pieces is actually advantageous.
Get it yourself.
Yeah, I will.
I don't want to help you.
Good. So I have now played.
And one other thing he's considering too is you got these little half circles, and if you can complete one of those circles, you get a tea.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be half a cup of tea, so apparently it doesn't spill even though it's missing half of it.
It says the magic of India.
Okay.
And so then he draws a tea out of the tea bag.
You do.
Oh, do I?
You're the one that said you were getting it. Oh, I didn't complete a tea either, so I don't get to.
All right, but so then if I'm going to say, okay, so I can move 1 space for free, either right to the left.
I don't get to go. So
it's
just Miranda is going next.
I was just,
okay.
it was just, I'm trying to jump.
I'm used to it. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay,
were you playing, Rob?
All right, so I'm actually wanting to skip. I'm wanting to get over here this 3 blue because it would work really well for me. So I'm going to put one of my passes on here. It's basically I get a speeding ticket. And
is that what these are?
No, I don't think it's speeding tickets.
I like that idea better.
On your bicycle, yeah.
I mean, it just felt right. Okay, all right, so I'm going to pick this card. I'm going to also play it, but it's like I said, you're going to be putting it there. This is where I was going to show about completing a team, but you guys had already talked about it.
Now, this bag does not come with the game. This is one I think Rob gave me, but it's handy for these type of situations.
Yeah, because they do have different things on the back, which come to play at the end of the game.
Okay, so when you draw a T, there is either a blue background or a yellow background. Orange. The blue background is done at any turn while you're drawing cards. So if, like this one gives me a free 1 red space, okay? So I get to take 1 and put it in my thing at any time that I chose, or I can leave it unplayed because they are worth victory points at the end of the game if you do not play it. Then the other piece is then the orange background. The orange background is to affect in the scoring round. Now, once we have completed, all the cards out of the deck are gone, you will play the 2 cards in your hand, and then we will go to that scoring phase. So now we're going to go back.
Do we want to do some
editing magic?
Editing magic?
Yes, we are. We're going to do some editing magic. All right, editing magic.
And we're back.
All right, so now that we've completed the game, we haven't, but for the sake of talking, we are. So now everyone has their stack of cards. Everyone took 2 turns. you're supposed to take until all the cards are gone, but we're just going to go for it. All right, so now we're going to score this level. So the first thing that we're going to do is end up scoring these level cards. So these are they are scored every level, so just kind of be aware of that. And you'll get those points. I only have one color, so I don't get any victory points here, but all of us get 5 points, so we're going to all be at 5.
Wow.
Now, also note that whatever of these tickets that you have left, you will get. So, for example, I have 3, 4, 5, so I'll get an additional 5 points.
I somehow magically got 7, so I go 7.
That's what you had in the last game, I think.
No, I had 11 in the last game.
Oh, whatever. How many did you have?
Don't worry about it.
You had 1.
I said don't worry about it.
We'll give you a year. All right. So then now we're going to pick a card. So I'm going to look at what my level has. So obviously I have 6 blue, so I really do want to put something with blue up here. I don't have any. Well, I have 1. All right, so I'm going to place this down here. Everyone's going to hide theirs.
And ideally, we're all playing cards that's advantageous to our colors. Now, I don't, so I get to help Miranda. Because I get to play blue.
Because Miranda has to win.
That's right.
That's not how this works. All right, so Randy had 2 yellows and 1 blue. I had 2 green and 1 blue, and then there was a green and a blue. So then you didn't have any red.
Guess what? Red's at 0. Guess what I play? Red.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rob has 0 points. And I would have. So I have. Although it's 2 pieces, there's 6 containers on it, right? So 6 squares. So I would do 6 times 3, so that would give me 18 points.
And somehow I only got to play 1 tile during the game, so there's that.
And guess what? Miranda wins.
What do you know?
It's so weird.
I mean, it's strange how I always win this game. It's then the second one and a third one in a row then. That's the scoring mechanism. So, and then you go with each level. So, like we played this level, we would remove it off and then score the next level.
So
and these reset everywhere.
Yeah, if you were levels ahead of the other players, you would potentially score 1
extra rounds.
2 rounds before they get to score, but they still contribute cards. So they have to decide what they're going to throw away, basically.
And hopefully not contributing to your score.
Exactly.
Now, to be fair, there is a bunch of zeros. So if you had picked them up in the game, you could easily just put 0. That way there's no chance of them getting any victory.
Yeah, it's the balancing mechanism. It's like the smaller the piece, the more scoring points will be.
Yeah.
But the bigger the piece, which is easier to cover up your layer, worth less points.
So you kind of have to balance all that. You know, the market is very simplistic. It goes from 0 to 4. One of the other expansion they have for it gives you 2 random tiles that you pick. That one is going to increase and one's going to decrease that market starting position.
That way people are fighting over certain colors and not wanting other colors.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So overall, how did you guys enjoy the game?
I think it's a very simplistic game, but it's still got some meat to it as far as what you got to think about. I don't think all bonuses are created equal in this. So I think there's some of these in-game bonus scorings that are better than others. But again, it's a module that's not part of the base game. So you can add on whichever you can make it. You can only have 1, or you can play all 3 cards, and you can choose which side you're going to play them on. We played odd numbers the first game. We played even this game. So you get there's a lot of flexibility in it, but there's not enough meat to make it something that I think is going to have a lot of lasting appeal. But it's fun for what it is. I'll probably go ahead and give this one a 7.
I think I'm going to do a 7.5 only because I think it's a really good family style game. I think it'd be really easy to teach people who aren't regularly into board games or hobby style board games. So I think it'd be easier to get some people to the table to play this game versus maybe some of the other games that maybe we would like to play a little bit more often. But I think it does a really good job of kind of introducing people to some of these mechanics that they may not be accustomed to. So I want to do a little bit higher at 7.5.
I'm probably also going to be at a 7. I think, don't get me wrong, I love polyominoes. My thing is the cart shapes. You end up needing a lot of singles to complete, and I have a thing with needing things complete. So
a little bit of a problem.
this is a Miranda problem. This is not other people's problems. And I know that and recognize that. But we're talking about my score. So I'm going to give it a 7 because I like things complete and the shapes that are given.
What would have been even better is if I could play cards that would have jacked with your...
No.
It would have made her so upset.
No.
Yeah, that's the worst if you...
Yeah.
Or if we
No.
destroyed some of her food.
Oh.
I got a spoilage card for your food.
And with those mechanisms, the game score would significantly decrease in my viewpoint.
Now, one thing we didn't talk about, when you do have if you play a tile on up higher that you need a foundation for, you can't,
so nothing underneath it.
You have to take an empty one of these trays.
It's like an empty dish.
Yeah, it's an empty dish. You put it on there, and it's worth -2. This is all about tips as your victory points.
Yeah, because basically you ended up having to give somebody something empty, and they were very sad when they got it.
I would be too. I'm hungry, and I get an empty tray. It's like, here.
And then you lost
dinner.
the tray. I mean, that's money too.
So I mean, that's all sad. So, yeah, I'd be sad if I'd be like, oh yeah, I got food.
I was really looking forward to my psychically ordered fried chicken, and I got nothing.
That's what you get when you call those people Dabba Walla. You get an empty tray. You like it.
No, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a cute little game. I don't think it has enough meat for it to be long lasting to me.
Yeah,
but that being said, I think some families would find this very appealing.
And
So
it's good for a short window. I mean, if you got
a good filler game.
So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast hanging out with you tonight. But Robert's hungry, so he wants to go eat. So we're gonna go do that. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.